Good morning everyone. In continuation with chapter 1, today we will be studying about transpiration. What do you mean by the term transpiration? All of you have experienced sweating, isn't it? What happens in sweating? On a hot day, we sweat. That is, we lose water from our skin pores. And in the same way, plants also lose water, but they lose in the form of water vapor from aerial parts of the plant, and this is called transpiration. What do you mean by aerial parts? All those parts of the plant that are exposed to air, that means stem, leaves, etc., etc. Okay, and when all the aerial parts are involved in transpiration, it primarily occurs through stomata in the leaves. Okay, what do you mean by the term stomata? Yes, all of you must be knowing it. They are the minute pores where on the lower surface of the leaves. What is the main role of stomata in the leaves? Exchange of gases, isn't it? Oxygen and carbon dioxide. But together with exchange of gases, it also loses water in the form of water vapor. Okay, so now you know what is transpiration and which part of the plant is mainly responsible for transpiration. Yes, all the aerial parts, but primarily it occurs through the stomata in the leaves. Next, what happens because of this transpiration? Because of this transpiration, a suction force is created. A force, a pulling force. Suction force means a pulling force. A pull is created where? In the xylem tissue. What is xylem? It's a conducting tissue which is responsible for transport of water and minerals. We studied it in class 7th. Do you remember? Okay. So what happens? Because of this suction pull, water rises up in the xylem tissue as an unbroken column. Just like when you drink water with a straw, then what happens? Water rises up from the straw, isn't it? In an unbroken column, does it happen that some amount of water comes, then it breaks, then some amount comes? No, it comes continuously from the straw. In the same way, from the xylem tissues, water also rises up in an unbroken column. Why? It is because of the strong force of attraction, that is the cohesion force between the water molecules. Okay, understood? The water molecules, they have a strong force of attraction which keeps them binded together, and therefore when you pull one molecule with that force, all the other molecules also come with it, because when you pull this molecule, now as there is a force of attraction, that is the force of cohesion between these two molecules, it will pull it, it will pull it, it will pull the another one, and therefore an unbroken column of water is formed in the xylem tissue. All of you understood it? So now what happens? This suction pressure, this pull is called transpiration pull. Okay, this is called transpiration pull. Now what are the factors that affect the rate of transpiration? There are mainly 4 factors. The first one is sunlight. If sunlight is more, then transpiration is faster. Transpiration increases on a sunny day. Okay, then temperature. Of course, when it is a sunny day, that means you have a hot day, isn't it? And therefore rate of transpiration is faster on a hot day. And why it happens? Because in more sunlight or in a hot temperature, the evaporation is faster. Evaporation of water from the surface of leaf, that is the loss of water vapor, is faster, and therefore transpiration is faster. Now next is wind. When the wind blows, it increases the rate of transpiration. Okay. Next is humidity. You know what is humidity? The concentration of water vapor in the air is called humidity, isn't it? Now what happens when concentration of water vapor in the air is more? That means air is already laden with the water vapor. What does plant lose during transpiration? Plant also lose water vapor during transpiration. Now when already water vapor is more, do the plant will lose more water vapor? No, plant will not be able to lose more water vapor in the air, as air is already laden with the water vapor, and therefore when humidity is more, transpiration is less. Okay, the rate of transpiration reduces. So these are the 4 factors that affect the rate of transpiration. Now what are the importance of transpiration? Transpiration helps the plant in many ways. In the first, we will see that transpiration helps the plant to maintain concentration of cell sap inside the plant cells. Okay, and it prevents it from being diluted. Now, what do they mean by maintaining the concentration of cell sap? Okay, the roots of the plant, they continuously absorb water from the soil. Now, if the plant, these are the roots, for example, they are continuously absorbing water from the soil. If the plant will not lose the excess water, then what will happen? The amount of water in the cells will be more. How? Remember what we studied about absorption of water? That it occurs because of osmosis, and water will be absorbed by the roots when concentration of water is more in the soil as compared to the concentration of water in the cell sap, isn't it? But now, if extra water is not lost by the transpiration, then what will happen? The cell sap will have more water as compared to the soil, and osmosis will not occur, and absorption of the water will also not occur. So therefore, to continuously absorb water from the soil, the transpiration is important, so that concentration of cell sap is maintained and osmosis is not interrupted. Understood? Next is transpiration. It creates a transpiration pool, as we have discussed in the last slide. And this transpiration pool, it helps in ascent of sap. Ascent of sap, you know, that is the upward movement of water from the xylem tissues. It is ascent of sap. Next importance of transpiration is it provides a cooling effect. Okay, it cools up the plant. Why do the plant needs cooling effect? Because while evaporation of water occur, the plants produce heat inside it, and then to cool up, plants need to lose some water vapor, and when the water vapors are lost, water is lost by the process of transpiration, then it provides a cooling effect to the plant. Okay, and this enables the plant to keep cool. Now let us see transport of water. So what happens? This is all what we have already studied, that how water is transported up from the roots to the leaves of the plants. The upward movement of the water from the roots to the stem, it occurs by xylem, isn't it? The xylem vessels of the roots, stem and leaves are interconnected. They are connected together so that water absorbed by the roots reach the leaves, where it is used for photosynthesis. The water filled in the xylem vessel is raised up as a continuous unbroken column from the roots to the leaves. Now water is continuously lost from the leaves during the process of transpiration, which further creates a suction pressure, that is a pull, and this creates a sort of suction pressure which pulls the water up from the roots to the tip of the leaves. So in this way, water is transported from the leaves, from the roots, to the stem and leaves. It occurs mainly through the xylem. So this is all about transpiration and how transpiration helps in transportation of water. I will be showing you one activity related to the transpiration in my next video. Watch it, and that activity is so easy, which you can also do at your home. Enjoy study, revise all these things again, study well, and have a nice day.